Believe it or not, Cher is still going strong.
I know you're not really supposed to ask females this question, but can you say your age?
We'll come back to that. Cher is here in London promoting her latest project, and I get to meet her at her very plush hotel.
First of all, I guess I just want to touch on what your big news is for New Zealand.
You mean coming there?
Yeah, tell us about it.
When was the last time I was there? 10 years,
13 years ago, 2005.
Yes. So I'm coming back and doing shows, and I think it's going to be a great time.
Even this pop goddess is surprised she's still pulling in the punters.
Each time, you honestly think it's the last. Each time I've done it, I've thought, I won't be coming back. I just assumed that I would just take my place in retirement heaven or wherever I would be. I just didn't think people would be wanting to come and see my show if they could go see a new show.
But they do.
Yeah, I know.
Does that surprise you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it shocks the hell out of me.
Drag you down or drain you down.
What's shocking is her career's longevity. Most people can belt out one of her hits.
If I could turn back time, we'll believe in love after love. Na, 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 strong enough. I got you, babe.
Cher is the only artist to have topped the Billboard charts in each of the past 6 decades.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out until we grow.
She found fame in the 60s with her first husband, Sonny, became a TV star, then an Oscar-winning actress.
Cher and Moonshot.
And I don't think that this means that I am somebody, but I guess I'm on my way. Thank you.
Over the years, she's pushed social boundaries,
Yeah, it's a tattoo.
Well, you sure do take the risks, kid.
pioneered musical and fashion frontiers,
I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but
and she still performs the classic Cher show in Vegas.
I take back the love that I've hurt you.
Now back to that question.
Sure, I can say my age. I'm 72.
It's just, I mean, it defies absolute belief what you were doing.
You should see my mother. She's 92 and an ass kicker, you know, and she's beautiful. We've got good genes, and I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
And you can plank for 5 minutes, I hear.
Absolutely.
But that's unreal.
Well, I'm tough.
And in this business, you have to be.
I've had the strangest career because I've gone up and down and up and down, and people go, you keep reinventing yourself, which is so totally untrue because I'm the same person I always was. People were interested and then they weren't, and I couldn't get a job and then I could.
You've had an Oscar, a Grammy, Billboard Award, an Emmy, how many? Got 3 Golden Globes. Have I forgotten any?
The Cannes Film Festival for Best Actress.
That was for her film Mask.
Cher. This is the best birthday present of my life. Thank you.
I like that one.
But I mean, what do you think when you look back on it all?
I never look back on it. I never think about it. You know, it's like you do your work and that's nice. It's like Meryl told me once, you don't do your work for awards. You do your work so you can really enjoy that you're good.
Those costume changes must be tiring. Do you ever think, right, I've made it, I'm just going to sip a cocktail by the pool from now on?
No, I'm not a sipping a cocktail kind of gal, you know? That would just bore me to tears. Barbra Streisand said, why are you doing this? And I said, because someday I won't be able to. And I want to make sure that I do it till I don't like it anymore.
So you're obviously still loving it.
Yeah.
Enough to come way back down under.
I really like New Zealand a lot. It just reminds me of a time when I was young in America, when I was a little girl, and people were pleasant, they were just friendly, and it was a slower time. It was lovely because it seemed naive and seemed so simple.
Is there anything in particular that you remember from your last tour in 2005?
Well, we took a wonderful helicopter ride from one end of the island to where the I think it was the Maoris first landed.
You almost bought property last time you were here.
Yes. It was a smaller piece of property than I wanted for a larger amount of money than I wanted to pay. Had it been the other way around, I would be your neighbor.
Well, I mean, it's not too late.
You know what's amazing? It's a good thing, but it's a sad thing for me. You don't sell much of your beach. You keep your beaches for the people.
Well, I'll mention that.
Ask the Prime Minister.
Well, you could ask her yourself, perhaps.
Right.
I mean, do you know
But she might be busy when I'm there. She might be just getting over her baby.
What do you make of that? Last time you visited, we did not have a young female Prime Minister with a baby.
I think that we shouldn't even think about it. It should be so natural that we should just be talking about it like, you know, it happens all the time. The idea that a young woman Prime Minister is having a baby, I think is just bliss.
Cher herself is a mother of two. Her daughter Chastity, with first husband Sonny Bono, grew up in the showbiz spotlight.
All I want to really do is baby be friends with you. Right.
Then, as an adult, went from being Cher's daughter to her son. She also has another son, Elijah, to second husband Greg Allman.
Is it quite a sacrifice, though, to be a career mum?
Yes. I think it's a sacrifice for every mom that has to work. You know, you always feel like you're splitting yourself up between, you know, your family, your work. If you have a boyfriend, that's rough. But if you're the breadwinner, if you're the person who has to make the money, that's what you have to do.
And the opportunities just keep coming.
Let's get the party started.
Grandma.
She's about to star in the Mamma Mia sequel.
That's the best kind of party, little girl. It's hard working in films because there's not a lot of parts for older women. And I fit into a strange category. I am older, but I don't look as old as I am, and so where do you put me?
As the grandmother on Mamma Mia too,
Yes.
clearly.
Yes. Grandmother. I'm leaving that out of the bio. It's always been much harder for women. People don't really care too much what men look like. They don't have to be sexy to keep working, so they get away with a lot.
Please welcome Cher!
And yes, that's the outfit she wore for our interview too.
You've just come from the James Corden show. How did it go?
It was interesting, it was gross, and it was hysterical.
You have been incredibly outspoken about your disapproval of President Donald Trump. Say one nice thing about him.
I can't say one nice thing about it.
You've had 12 US presidents you've lived through. What do you make of the current one?
He's horrible. He's heinous. He's the worst. I never thought that I'd be alive to see a president who was actually working against America. He's already caused more damage than we know or that it'll take us generations to put back.
As well as being a political activist, Cher's a fashion icon, a feminist, and has a new album in the works.
Yes, it's completely different. And I don't think it's ever been done.
Can you give us a hint what you mean? No, you can't even.
No,
just a
not
teaser.
even. Not even.
But she was happy to impart some life advice.
What would you then say to yourself as a 19-year-old?
Go for your career. Try to balance your life. Be innovative. Be who you have made yourself to be. Don't take yourself too seriously. And don't sweat the small stuff.
Yes, great advice. And lovely to see Joy Reid doing her first story for Sunday too. She looks so happy, doesn't she? Cher will be performing in Auckland this September.